Hey, what's going on, everyone? Aunt Pruitt here. Hope you're doing well. I'm unbelievable as always. It's Monday, February the I don't know what day it is, but it's Monday, and it's another week to get ready to dominate and do our thing. But I wanted to talk to you folks about this past weekend. It was a pretty big sports weekend. I don't know if y'all realized that or not. There was this whole thing going on with Serena Williams and tennis, and then there was a little bit of golf. There was a little bit of bowling. That was the big thing. The Pruitt clan, we went on out to the local bowling alley this weekend, and it was a pretty fun event. I got to tell you, it was nice to get out there because I haven't been out there in I don't know how many years. It's been a very long time. But we decided to go because my youngest hardhead, he's never been. He's like, Daddy, I've never been bowling. And I'm thinking, man, how old are you? And he is, no, never mind. I'm not going to tell you how old he is. But he should have been bowling at least twice by now in his life. You know what I mean? But we had a good time and went out there and threw a couple things in the gutter. And every now and then we hit a pin. But all in all, it was a good time out with the family and big stuff, good stuff. Anyway, there was one more thing that happened this weekend. Super Bowl Sunday. You know this is one of the biggest sports events of the year around the world. No, it's not soccer, but it is still pretty damn big. Now, there are three aspects of the Super Bowl. We have the game itself, of course. We have the commercials involved. And then we also have the halftime show. So I want to hit a few things real quick. First off, the ads and the commercials. These companies spend millions and millions of dollars for a 30-second slot. Millions of dollars, okay? And some of these ads, I got to tell you, they're pretty clever. Some of them were. But my favorite ad had to be where I think it was Tampax or somebody. I can't remember their name, but the gist of it was they wanted you to take heed in how we talk to our children and what we teach our children on things that they say. Heck, it can apply for an adult, The example was they had little boys on camera and they said, "Hey, run like a girl." And of course the little boys would do some silliness and they would tell them, "Throw a ball like a girl." And of course the boy would do some more silliness. And in the end, they asked if this little girl or any little girl would be offended. And, I was like, that gets you right there. And then immediately after that, they bring little girls on the camera and they tell the girls, "Hey, run like a girl. Hey, throw it like a girl." And they ask them what it all means. And it was just so heartwarming. And it was nice to see that they're trying to raise some consciousness about how these little kids' emotions and mindsets are nowadays. We hear so much about bullying and these kids looking and coming off as so fragile today. It's nice that they're saying, "Hey, let's get out there and let's encourage these kids. Let's give them a little push behind and tell them they can do this. And whether you're a boy, whether you're a girl, whether you're black, whether you're white, you can do what you want to do." You know what I mean? So I really dug that commercial. Let's get into the game. We'll start the game out. First half of it was pretty entertaining. I didn't know what to think about both of the squads. You can tell they sort of were trying to feel each other out. And it ended up being fairly entertaining. So next, you get halftime. The next big thing of the Super Bowl. I have no idea who Katy Perry is. I could probably ask one of the hardheads and they would give me a whole rundown. But then again, I'm considered old. I'm over 30. Don't really know much of anything about pop culture. But I really don't care. It's okay. It's quite all right. But watching that show, she did all right. She came out there. I thought it was very pretty. All of the technology that was behind it, as far as the lighting and the pyrotechnics and just the way that everything was sort of choreographed. I thought it was pretty neat. Then Missy Elliott came on. Now, Missy Elliott, for those of you young folks that don't know, she's from back in the 90s, all right? And I used to love Missy. She's such a talented musician and had some good stuff back in the days with that guy Timberland. And when she came on that stage, man, it brought in a whole different amount of energy, a whole different type of energy into that halftime performance. And that's something that, not everybody can do that. You got to have a certain type of stage presence and showmanship to be able to bring it the way Missy brought it. So I was rather impressed with that halftime show. No, it wasn't the best halftime show at the Super Bowl that I've ever seen. That was probably going to go to Michael Jackson, of course. But it was still pretty good. Okay, the game. Finishing up the game. You have the Seahawks. You have the Patriots. And it's going back and forth. And it comes down to the wire. And the Seahawks get down at the goal line and decide to throw the ball and throw an interception. Oh, that hurts. Whew. I'm sure you guys have seen it ad nauseum. Replay after replay. Interview after interview. I won't get into that detail as much, but I will ask you folks. That brings up a couple questions about some of the other players. What happens to Marshawn Lynch? What happens to Russell Wilson? I'm assuming he's going to get a whole lot more money, even though his last pass of the season was an interception. He's probably going to get a whole lot more money on this next contract. What about Tom Brady? I heard a lot of different talk about Tom Brady being considered one of the best quarterbacks of all time. Tom Brady's pretty damn good. I'm not going to say he's going to be the best of all time. Yes, he has gone to, 6 Super Bowls? He's won 4 of them. That's big. But I don't know, man. Like I said, I'm still somewhat old school. First people to come to my mind is somebody like Joe Montana and just being the coolest cat on the field. Joe Montana was the least athletic quarterback on the elite level, but he always figured out a way to get it done. Sure, he had tons of talent around him with Jerry Rice and John Taylor and God, I can't even think of the other guys now, but it was pretty good to watch Joe Montana do his thing and just pick people apart left and right, week in and week out. And even when he got to the end of his career and went to Kansas City, he was still pretty strong. And there's other quarterbacks out there from recent history. You can throw out Marino, you can throw out Jim Kelly, and so on and so on and so on. But is Tom Brady the greatest of all time from a quarterback standpoint? I'm going to say no, but I'm going to put him up there at the upper echelon for sure. What are your thoughts? Leave me a comment below. Let me know what your favorite commercial was. Let me know your thoughts on the game. Let me know your thoughts on this whole greatest of all time talk from Mr. Tom Brady. Appreciate y'all watching. Get out there and dominate. Hit that like and subscribe button, and I'll catch y'all on the next one. Deuces.